let's review our pancake recipe. We have 1½ cups of chapati flour, 2 tablespoons canola oil, or whatever oil you like, 2½ tablespoons of yogurt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup of milk, and your optional blueberries, sunflower seeds, walnuts, whatever you'd like. Okay? Okay. Now you know how to make pancakes, right? If you don't know how to make pancakes now, it's too late for you. Okay, the next thing, one thing that when I stopped cooking with eggs, and I know people that also don't use eggs in their diet, French toast became just history, right? So recently I was at a friend of mine's house, and I was there with a few people, and she made us French toast for breakfast. And I asked her how she had done it, and that's where I got, well actually that's where the whole chapati flour thing came out. I was making pancakes before with, actually what works really good is a flour called a besan flour. It's a roasted chickpea flour. That works pretty well. But for French toast, that doesn't work. Anyway, the thing with French toast is the batter. How to get a good batter that browns nicely and isn't soggy, right? So this is what I use. Milk, okay? All right, that looks about right. Okay, now with this, it's difficult to get a real a recipe, because partly if you use skim milk, it's one thing. If you use 2% milk, whole milk, half and half, they all have a little bit different viscosity, and the flour sometimes has a little bit different moisture content. Okay, so you have to do this one pretty much kind of by eye. You know, you start with your milk and then you add the flour a little at a time. Okay, so what I'm going to use is milk, okay, chapati flour, a little bit of vanilla, and a little bit of sugar. Optional ingredients, cinnamon, and a little bit of orange zest. Okay, you could add a little bit of orange juice, not much. Okay, so I have my milk here, all right, and use some chapati flour. I start out with a good sized spoonful of it. I've found that in general it comes out to be about half milk and half flour to make this custard. Okay, all right, now there's a little bit of flour in there, but not enough. Okay, so I get another spoonful. All right, good amount of flour right there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see how it goes now. What you're looking for is a certain thickness, certain viscosity to this, and we don't have that yet. See, it's a little thin, but you'll notice how it looks. You'll know it when you get it. Okay, it's a little bit thicker than your regular French toast batter. Okay, so maybe another half a spoon there. All right, so, all right, we're getting there now. This is just about it. You see how that's thickened up? Can you tell the difference? I think you probably can. That looks pretty good right there. Now let this sit for a little bit, and the chapati flour will absorb the moisture. And I will add, let's say we'll go back to measuring a little bit. Oh, 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla. Another teaspoon of sugar. Tiny bit cinnamon. And what I want to do is take this orange, okay, grate the skin just a little bit, just lightly. You want to get, when you're making an orange zest, okay, you don't want to go too deeply into the skin of the orange, because the white white skin underneath the orange part is sometimes bitter. Okay, so I get some of the zest of the orange. This adds a really nice flavor. Okay, so here I have this. Okay. Looks like about a teaspoon. Mix all that in. Looks right. It looks good. Okay. All right. There's the French toast batter. So once again, we'll review. Milk, chapati flour. Okay. That's the basis of it. About a 1-to-1 proportion, although don't quote me on that. Vanilla, a little bit of sugar. Then if you want, you can add some cinnamon, some orange, you could add lemon, you know, from there you could add almond extract. Okay, use your imagination. All right, so we'll come back and we'll try cooking this. Okay, here we are back at the skillet. Same skillet, cast iron skillet. Basically the same temperature, okay? Similar procedure, a little bit of oil, okay? Spread the oil around. Okay, now, I have two kinds of bread. A traditional white bread, okay? This is pretty thin. Now, what I like to do with the French toast is dip it in there pretty quickly, okay? And get it out fairly quickly. I also have a cinnamon raisin bread. This makes a nice French toast. Very flavorful. Okay, so if you like a French toast that's more or less custardy, get one of the, like a French Texas toast, okay? The thick bread. Okay, or get a nice loaf of bread, cut it a little thicker. Leave it in the batter longer. Okay, let it soak up the batter a little bit, and then cook it at a low heat. Okay, and let it soak in a little bit, and it'll. Okay, so all right, there we go. A little trouble flipping those. Increase the heat when that happens. Okay, so these are starting to get brown, golden brown. Okay, but you'll see if you look on into this, if you can see pretty well, that's a good light I think on there. You can see how it has the same look of a French toast made with the eggs. Okay, and it has basically the same flavor. All right, so. Yeah, increase this a little bit. Maybe add just a few more drops of our canola oil, which is cholesterol free. So, all right, so let this cook a little bit. One thing that I've noticed is when I'm cooking pancakes, French toast, I often find myself adjusting and readjusting the heat of the pan. I'm not sure. Well, it's just the way that happens. When you have your pan, it's a certain heat. You put something in it, it cools down. Okay, so it slows down the cooking process. So sometimes I have to turn it up, then it gets too high, I turn it down. It's one of those things. Play the game. Okay, this looks nice. This looks really okay. See the color of it? It looks like French toast. This one's a little pale, but don't worry, it'll brown up. Okay. So, that's basically your eggless French toast, okay? These are breakfast items, a couple of eggless breakfast items. I want to do more. I don't have time today, but I want to do more eggless breakfasts. So in the future, we'll plan some more mornings, some wake-up vegetarian kitchens, okay? And I hope that you can use these recipes and maybe brighten your morning, you know? If you're one of those people like I was that gave up French toast along with the eggs, well, now you don't have to do that. You can have that as a treat. Anyway, thank you for joining Vegetarian Kitchen, and I hope to see you again.